Hi and welcome. It's my BMW R1100R. Overall condition pretty good. Um, just a few things I'd like to tell you about these kind of bikes. It's a boxer engine, obviously. Separate suspension on the front and the same on the back. Engine overall condition's pretty good. They normally go all rusty and all the paint starts to chip off these engines. But a bit of care on them. You can keep them looking tidy and polish the exhaust up obviously as well, because there's some real scrappers out there as well, going, and people think they're worth bloody fortunes, but being honest with you, you look after them. This specific model did have ABS on it. As you can see just here, it's been removed. It's an easy way to do it, just to connect it all. Buy a couple of new pipes here and there, what you require to do the exchange over, because most of these bikes do suffer with the ABS light flashing on the dashboard, which can be a real bit of a bit of a pain when it comes for the MOT and the inspections on these bikes. So I declared to remove it. Pretty simple operation. Take the fuel tank off, remove the back seat, and then underneath all this, you've got your ABS, what sits in its own unit, etc. Unbolt it all, re-bleed all the brakes, a couple of new pipes here and there, like I said, job done. Same for the fuel injection system. They're really easy maintenance on these style of engines. I had some previous rubber, like a rubber seal thing there for the air and that, so took them off because they corroded away and broke. I'm not going to keep paying like BMW loads of money to replace them, so a bit of tube and a screwdriver, bit of a screw in that, easy to be done. Same with the silencer and that, bit of a polish, some auto sole on them, keep them all nice and polished up. And for the weather, the bike is a bit dirty, because I've been riding it out in the bad weather, but it doesn't really bother me. Your suspension and you can adjust it, etc. Your frame, polish all that up. Oil, air oil inductors, always make sure that they're nice and clean so that you can see through them, and that you always know that. Same as your forks as well, like these don't really suffer with fork seals being leaking or anything. Once again, pretty WD-40 to just to keep them nice and clean and fresh, stop all the etc in the road and the dirt grime getting on the forks. Make sure that they're always kept nice condition. Same as your fork, your levers, bit of oil. People say this is the cold start. Your choke, it actually states it's got start and choke on it. But these bikes actually do not have a choke on it, so I don't know why people keep saying that for. It actually hasn't got a choke. So generally what you do is to start it up in the morning, put this so-called choke on half, and it just keeps the revs up on the engine. It's actually connected to your your accelerator, so it's not a bloody choke on it, but people call them that, so I ain't too fussed about that. Say what you want. This specific bike, it's got 100 thou on the clock and a little bit more now, and I tell you what, the engine is sweet as a nut, still going as strong as the day. I cannot believe it. I've put a lot of mileage on this bike so far, and been to a lot of places. I've never had a problem at all. Always check your diff and that, so you check stuff like that. You check your wheel bearings and make sure they're all good. There's no clunking in the diff, around here. It's your diff, your prop shaft lives and all that. There's no leaking on this rubber seal here as well, because they seem to leak. It just makes you wonder really. What kind of life did the bike, when other people have these, truly buy? What do they do? Just go out, buy the first thing they look at? does make you wonder really, doesn't it? But you know, overall tyres are brilliant on these bikes, you know, Bridgestone, Patax style tyres on it. That's what I've been running on this. Good hard compound tyres, and they last pretty well. Can become a little bit slippy in the rain, or you know, depending what kind of banking over you're doing and that. And plus these bikes come with full pannier kit as well, which you've got that there, and you've got your Geneva top piece for your top box. I previously made this piece here as a toolbox, put some tools in, and so that's pretty good. I kind of like that. You know, all I've done is put it on some tie straps on it, and you know, leave it hanging around, kind of thing. Once again, like, what can I say? The same with the injector systems as well. Like, you know, these are pretty well easy to maintain. When you start these bikes up, you normally hear at the back here, I don't know whether you can see, yeah, when my finger's pointing, that one there, that these injectors, they seem to rattle when they're worn out. Once again, like, you know, it's an easy thing to take apart, rebuild, not much stress in it. You know, anybody can do it. The same as the balancing. You can balance these pretty good. You know, generally sometimes by ear, or if you want to go down the bike shop and go and get it rebalanced properly by them, or you can make your own balancing kit and do it yourself. Doesn't bother, it's all good. Same as the cams as well. You know, you can adjust the cams and the you can adjust the valves as well. That's a really easy job to do. And I've noticed a lot on these kind of bikes as well, like on inside the fuel, there's a fuel pump, and there's a fuel filter as well. Like, and you always know, like, when they're on the way out, or the fuel pump's on the way out, because they make such a squeal. But don't let that put you off, because, being honest with you, the bike will keep running and running and running until the engine probably falls out of it. So don't let that put you off about the squealing. But if you're you know, you want to keep up on your maintenance, take the fuel tank off, undo it off. Inside there's a big round plate inside the back of this, and you know, under all the bolts, you've probably seen it on YouTube anyway. Take the fuel filter out and replace it. Roughly about 95% of it will stop all the squealing on the fuel pump, is because it picks up a lot of dirt, a lot of crap, and then the fuel pump becomes to be struggling to work. So, you know, it's overworking, and that's why it squeals such a lot. But like I said, if you don't want to do it, don't bother to do it. Save yourself some money and put up with the squealing of it, because eventually, like I said, either the engine will drop out of it, or you'll be left stranded on the side of the road with a knackered fuel pump. But my general point is, you know, spend 5 minutes or so replacing it. You haven't got to buy a BMW part as well. You can just buy a car petrol filter from any car shop, etc., and you know, put it in. If you've got to cut a few pipes to make it fit, then make it fit. You know, don't go to the extent of like buying, you know, like £50 worth of fuel filter, because it's just a load of bollocks at the end of the day. You can do it, put your mind to it, and you know, things will work. Yeah, what can I say? It's a great bike to ride. I would say it's a bit like a love-hate relationship, personally. You know, you either like it or you don't. Some days, like, you know, you get back on the bike and you think to yourself, that's brilliant, this is. And the next time, like, you think to yourself, fuck me, I wish I had a faster bike. Anyway, I'll start her up. As you may have heard, then the fuel pump kicked in. Sometimes, like, you can hear these squeal. I'm going to put this so-called choke on just to help her out a bit. And but generally, I just turn the throttle a little bit, press the button, knock this so-called choke off. Like that. That's all you needed to do. Like I said, it ain't a choke. You know, you can actually run this bike down the motorway, cruising, and use it as a cruise, like a what do you call it, like a cruise device. You can drive along the motorway with it fully on, and the bike will normally cruise at about 65-70 miles an hour. running it. Yeah, as you can hear in the fuel tank, there's no such no whining, and that's how you want it to be. Like I've always said, like, you know, if you can't afford it, just put up with the noise. Your engine's meant to sound nice and smooth and silky as well. As you can hear. Did have a really nice sound to it, don't know, with the original exhaust system on it. I mean, a lot of people do swap them, but I don't see why you want to ride down the road with a really noisy bike. Not one of these, any road. That's just my opinion. You take this cap off here. There's 4 bolts in there. You just undo the bolts, drop the back wheel off. You haven't got to remove the exhaust or anything. A really easy way, like, you know, if you have a flat tyre or you need new tyres on your bike. Same on the front. You've got a centre stand as well. You also have a side stand to put it on. To check the oil on these, you have a little port window on the side of the engine there, and the best way to do this is to cut the engine out and let the engine then resit itself, and then go back, say after about 5 or 10 minutes of you having a quick cup of tea, come back outside, and then you can read the oil on here, because like when you sit these in your shed or your garage, or you just leave it outside, you come outside, you think, oh, there's no engine oil in it, or you can't actually read it because the window itself has gone completely black itself by the oil. So you have to start them, let them run for a couple of minutes like I'm doing myself, and then switch it off, you know, and then you can check the oil on these. It's pretty simple, which is here. It's meant to go up to about that dot there in the middle, if you can see that, and that's where your halfway point is, etc. Now, I mean, they do say like when the oil is due to be serviced on these bikes. Now, a lot of people won't really tell you this or that or anything, but just where my finger's pointing here, right, you'll always probably get a little whisper of engine oil. That's because the oil itself has gone pretty thin within itself, and you know when it's ready to be changed, because, being truthful, the seals on these bikes, like there and the pipe, oil pipes, etc., and also inside where your fan belt's kept, they do tend to leak. So yeah, you know, it's one of them kind of things with these old bikes. And that's it really. Yeah, so like I said, behind here is a fan belt. You do need to change them, obviously. I mean, I do change that to get that done. Floating discs on it, always make sure that your little buttons are always nice and loose, because it's why it's called a floating disc, and they are meant to move within reason. Yeah, you do not want them to be seized up, because otherwise you're just going to get some really rubbish braking system on it, and you know, there you go. Simple bit of WD-40. If not, strip them down, give them a quick clean up, rebuild it all back together again. Another half an hour job, easy to do, nothing to worry about. And that's about all I can say on these bikes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to leave some sort of comment, you can. And thanks very much.